regretting wearing this top. I don't know. But anyway, I'm here today to kind of close the chapter a little bit more on drama schools and just answer some of the questions that a lot of people keep asking. So I thought I'd answer these, and then if you have any more questions then you can leave them in the comments and I can answer them in the comments or in another video. So let's just get on with it. So the first thing is, people ask like, should I be applying to the ones on UCAS or like not on UCAS, like what's the difference? And it's a confusing thing, but I think basically just different schools are on different systems. Some are on UCAS conservatoires like Bristol Old Vic and Royal Welsh, and some are on like main UCAS where you apply to unis if you were doing that, and then some are just independent like RADA, Lambda, and UCAS ones, then you tend to have like less different forms to fill in. You tend to like fill in the same form for all of them and then send that off, and then they might ask you for some more forms, but other than that, that's kind of it for the form filling in. So that's kind of the main difference, is just the service that you're like applying through. Next is, what pieces will you need to prepare? And this depends on which school you're applying for, but you're most likely going to have Shakespeare, because some don't like you doing some other Elizabethan plays, some don't mind it, but it's best to have some Shakespeares, and also some contemporary plays, and it's best to have that as recent as possible. And these are about 1.5 to 2 minutes usually, but some schools might want it a little bit longer, so don't get caught out like I did when I found out, when I got the email that I had 2 weeks to find like a minute of more monologue. I was like, but I coped with that. And also you might have to sing a song, which if you're doing acting will probably be a cappella, and really awkward to think that RADA have potentially heard me sing just me doing a song, but it's life, it's what you have to do. And yeah, some ask for devised pieces, but you just have to look into the school and see what they want. Next is funding, and this is a difficult one because you've already spent so much money on the auditions. It's painful. The amount of money you have to spend to actually be doing stuff that's actually quite risky to do, and a risky industry to go into, and you're also having to spend all of this money on it. It's like, it's so much money. But there are ways around like funding the tuition fees, because some schools, you've got to be aware that like even if it says you are eligible for a student loan, like schools like Mount View, ArtsEd, you're eligible for a student loan that will fund like 8,000 or something, or 6,000 or something, so then you have like the 8,000 left of the 14,000 fees for you to pay yourself. So you might have to find like 8 grand, which can sound a little bit intimidating, I know, and there are ways around it. There's bursaries. If you get in touch with them as soon as possible, then they can consider you for scholarships, and they'll always help you out if you need help with the funding. And also there's lots of different companies that you can get in touch with that will potentially consider like giving you a grant or something. So I think it takes a lot, because I know someone who did that and they got in touch with I think 200, and I think they only got like 6 responses or something. So it's a difficult process, but it is possible to find funding in other ways. You can also do crowdfunding, people have done, or like if you put on a show with a lot of other people who are wanting to get funding as well, and then you like split the profits so people are still getting stuff out of them helping you fund your drama school. Next is the waiting, and like how long do you have to wait, and what does it mean, like what order are they doing it in? And quite often you don't know, because they could be doing it alphabetically, they could be doing it with letting people know first if they've got a recall. You just don't know, so don't read into it. And also it kind of took between like I would say like 3 to 6 weeks for my self-tape ones to come back. And sometimes even when like they said you'll hear back within 4 weeks, it would be like 5 weeks, 6 weeks, and I'd be like, I still haven't heard. So don't be too focused on the time that they say they might get back to you by, because they might not actually do that. And then you don't want to have mentally prepared yourself to hear back by a certain day and then not hear back, because then that kind of breaks you apart a little bit, and then you're just constantly glued to your emails and it's painful. And the next one, the final one, I don't feel like this has been a most interesting video, but I need to get it out today, so apologies, is rejection. Like, people get in touch with me and say, how do you deal with the rejection? And I mean, you never quite know how it feels to get that many rejections until you get that many rejections, but I think it's good to learn along the way, and you do find ways to deal with it, because if this is something you want to do, you're going to have to deal with a lot of rejection. So it's important to just not take it personally and just to find ways to move on, but don't deny it if you like feel bad about it. Obviously it's hard and you are allowed to feel sad about your rejections. Just don't let it consume you, and just be honest about how you're feeling, because then you can best deal with it. You can't just lie to yourself and say that you're fine if you're not. So that's my advice, and you do get through it. Like, I'm fine with my rejections now, they don't really bother me anymore. That's all we have for today. I hope it's not been too like uninteresting. I get that a lot of people probably know these things already, but I just thought I'd put these out there because these are the things that can be a little bit confusing, and if you have any more questions then let me know. But I'll probably be moving on and talking about other stuff like agents, jobs, I don't know, but not just drama school anymore. So that's it really, and thank you for watching, and I hope you have a great day. Bye!